Hello. Welcome to the Black Bezos Show. I'm going to call it Black Bezos Broadcast. Or I might just call it Black Bezos. Or am I shouting? I don't know. Please don't go off. If this thing goes off here, before I get over to the other side of my office, I'm going to be pissed, man. Okay, yeah. Welcome to the... Yeah, so basically, yeah. I'm probably going to edit out that introduction. But yeah, welcome to the Black Bezos Broadcast, Black Bezos Show. I'm going to start something, you know. We're starting the podcast. I don't even care, man. We're starting. This might be episode 1. It might not be. Just going to start something. And then boom. Just going to talk about different topics. You know, life. Mainly of the finances, but life, innit? Life. And then obviously, yeah. So if you saw on one of my episodes called Pressure is for Men, not for... Basically, this is going to be short and just basically... Yeah, it's going to be short. I don't know why I'm saying basically so many times, but this is going to be a short episode because it is a viewer has responded to the Pressure is built for men, not for hips. Pressure's for shoulders, not for hips. Yeah, so... I'm going to get that viewer on and that's it, man. We're going to work. We're going to get to work. Let me invite him now.
Worked. Hello.
Hello. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. As always.
Love that.
You just love it. Okay. Alright, cool. Anyway, you want to get into it?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so what are we getting into? I know I'm getting into it. Joking. So basically, you're just responding. Basically, yeah. So you tell me because you popped up to me. You tell me.
So I was listening to your.
Well, first of all, do you want to introduce yourself, or you want to stay anonymous?
No, we can say anonymous.
Oh, okay. But you can get clout.
I don't want clout.
Okay, fair enough. Well, you don't want clout for this particular subject.
Just not in general.
Not in general. Alright, go get into it.
So I was listening to your podcast on YouTube about pressures made for shoulders, not hips. Yeah. And I was saying that while I understand what the girl was saying, I think her perspective is a bit biased because she is conventionally beautiful or pretty, so I think her experience are based on that, but I don't think she was being necessarily pragmatic and looking at it from a point of view from a woman who might not be conventionally attractive and may not be able to get the treatment that she gets from men. As I've seen girls who are not as beautiful getting treated like less than by men, because men are visual creatures by nature.
Okay, so elaborate on the example.
One of my friends, she's beautiful. Her university lecturers used to call her by her first name and then Kardashian. She's conventionally very beautiful. Men, all sorts of men like her, black, white, Asian. It doesn't matter. Everyone finds her to be attractive. And she's in a relationship and she gets treated like an absolute princess. I mean, her man takes care of her in all ways, showers her flowers, gifts, expensive gifts, make sure she's always taken care of, pays for her nails, pays for her hair. If she can't drive, so he makes sure he picks her up. If she's out with the girls, he'll make sure she's getting a cab home. She's very much looked after. However, I have friends who are still very much, in my eyes, beautiful women, but maybe not conventionally beautiful. They don't necessarily fit the beauty standard in terms of their bodies or even their faces or even hair, things like that. And men, it's not that men don't give them attention, but the attention is for different things. It isn't to shower them and treat them like a princess. It's more of just to satisfy their needs, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I think it does. Netflix and chill.
Yeah.
But okay, so you're arguing that. So are you arguing that? Because obviously, back to the main question. pressure is for shoulders, not for hips. So are you saying that when somebody looks more conventionally beautiful, that's when the pressure is going to be off them more so to speak, and somebody
100%. I 100% think so. Being realistic, dating apps have done analysis of like who are the most kind of dateable women, and black women always come out at the bottom, and that's just facts. That, I think, it's also kind of in school. So I saw the way white girls got treated. Like, boys love the white girls, including the black boys back in the day. The black girls were very much overlooked and even made fun of because their hair is different and things like that. So if all of your life you've had to kind of, I don't want to say fight for your place, but yeah, almost, you've had to fight for your place and earn your keep, you go on life doing that. That's just going to be you naturally. Whereas if you're a woman who's always been treated in a certain way, you will continue as well in that manner along in your life, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I think it's almost like, I was watching this video and this man was going around asking women, would you date someone who's broke? And the one thing that I noticed was that a lot of the black women were like, yeah, of course, I mean, if he has potential, blah blah. And all the white women looked at him and were like, what do you mean? No. And I think that just shows how black women have to almost feel as if everything that they get in life has to be a struggle, or that things might not come to them as easy, because that's what they've experienced from childhood into adulthood. So I think it's very hard for a black woman to then go around being submissive at times, because that's not your experience. You can't be delusional. Even in the workplace, I've seen it. So, yeah.
What would you say? What do you mean by the workplace?
So, I started working at 18, and I'm now almost 25. So I've worked in many places, and I've always worked in finance. And in my previous role, there was a woman. She was Spanish, very, very beautiful, very smart. And if she ever asked the CFO any questions, he would flock at her request. Anything she asked for, he would do. Then we had another lady in finance who, not so beautiful. If she asked for something, even if it was a reasonable request, there would always be some sort of pushback. They'd be like, why is she asking for more? Why does she think that we should do this? It's just small things like that that you might not notice necessarily unless you're paying attention to it. But I think, to me, it was very obvious. Even the way he would speak to the beautiful woman was very much different to how he would speak to someone he found less attractive.
Mm-hmm. So your argument is that pretty privilege plays a role in this, the main statement.
100%. I think.
Oh. Carry on.
Sorry, go on. I think that if you, as a woman, believe that you deserve to be treated a certain way, then you won't accept anything less than that, right? But like I said, if you've your whole life been conditioned to believe that you're not as beautiful, or you're less than, or things need to be a struggle for you, then that's how you will carry on and carry yourself in life. So I think a lot of the times what I've noticed is that if a woman doesn't feel adequate, she doesn't do things out of love, but she does things for love, if that makes sense. So she'll try to go above and beyond for a man to prove her keep, when really, if, like you said, pressure is made for shoulders, not hips. A woman shouldn't have to prove what she brings. I think a man should let her be feminine and then just cater to her needs, technically.
So in this instance then, like, who, because one thing I was going to say is then, okay, don't you feel like then women can okay, cool, they're not I don't know what the word is used. They're not on par in the beauty department. They're not on par. They're not there. Then who's to say then they can't work on other areas? Because it's not just It's not just beauty and stuff like that. Because you say like, okay, black people, and again, like I'm like, I understand where you're coming from, everything like that. But then someone could easily be like, okay, cool.
She's intelligent. She's this. She's that.
Yeah, and also someone could also say like, okay, cool. I don't know if that might be right or wrong, but who out of all the races, who's the most in terms of weight? Who's most overweight? I don't know if it's black people. I
have no idea. I think it would depend on like the countries.
Okay, it would depend on the countries. Yeah. I know in America for sure. In the UK, I don't know, but in America, I know for sure. Black women are more overweight than any other race. So that's why I say like, do you feel like they can improve in it? And also, it's not just looks as well. You've got you've got those other areas. Like there's black women have maybe even a bit of a stigma, and I just want to just say black people because you kind of we're talking more about pretty privilege, so you're talking more about quote unquote ugly people. What's it called? There might even be a bit of a stigma that even ugly. I don't even want to use that word. Hey, because men not because they're saying that like man's sweet or saying that I'm just normal 15. I think you're trying to get what I'm trying to say. Like basically, people were like, because like, I agree what you're saying. People were brought up in a way where they know they haven't been put on a pedestal, so like they just don't look at guys the same way. They're almost boys with them most of the time. They're just boys with them, so they're not even like a smile on their face. Like everyone knows a pretty girl, they always got a smile on their face. Always, life is easy for them. Like we know when you're pretty, life is easy for you. So what I'm trying to say is, don't you feel like then, or do you think there's an argument to be made that there's other things that they can be worked on? They can work on their health and their weight rate. They can work on like smiling and being their character and stuff like that. Don't you feel like that?
Yes and no. The reason I say yes is, of course, like there's that whole thing of you're not ugly, you're just poor. Like you can always improve on your looks. Even if you're a pretty person, you can always do more. But like I said, men are visual creatures, so a man's not going to approach you if he's not attracted to you in the first place, right? So I think you'd have to work on your looks no matter what. Regardless, you'd have to be attractive to the man that you're trying to attract. Obviously, you don't have to be attractive to everyone, but just for what your preference is, you have to be realistic and be like, okay, if I'm looking for this kind of man, he's looking for this kind of woman, what can I do to become that kind of woman? Fine. However, I think sometimes actually men get very intimidated if a woman is smarter than them. I think men have very fragile egos, so I think sometimes when a woman is very, very smart, almost to a point where she's smarter than the man, it can kind of put a man off because he feels emasculated. He doesn't feel like he's in control. So I think actually it's kind of like a double-edged sword being a smart woman. I think it's definitely, it can be a turn off for the wrong man, I would say. But I think actually most men would feel emasculated. It's similar with if a woman's making more money than you, I think again a man's going to feel like emasculated, because what can you offer if pressure is made for shoulders and you're the one that's supposed to be handling the pressure? If she's smarter than you, she's got more money than you, surely she's going to be able to handle pressure much better than you would be able to.
Don't you feel like a woman who's in that situation, she can play that as a win-win situation, in the sense that if they know, okay, cool, they make more money and they're smarter than them, wouldn't you say it's just better for them just to play dumb, let the man feel like he's taking control, and then now they don't have to deal with that pressure. They can, and no, I don't know how that's, I don't know, what do you think about that? They don't have to deal with that pressure, and they still got their money, and they still don't have to, they don't have to talk about the intelligence. Just let him deal with it.
Okay, let's reverse that. Would you find it easy to play dumb if someone's sitting there and they're telling you, would you? Oh, okay, I would struggle. I would 100% struggle.
I don't know, like if I know that, like, I just feel, especially from a woman's point of view, men are inherently uncooperative. Men and women are inherently cooperative. So if I know, if I open my mouth and say something, and this guy, he's just gonna go, oh, I feel some type of way. I'll just let him do his thing. Sometimes in life for me, sometimes I just know, sometimes even my own friends, I see them doing stupid shit. It's like, sometimes I can talk, but sometimes you just gotta let them just do that stupid shit, because, and they know anyway, I'm right. They'll just come to you and go, yeah, you was right. You're always with. Yeah, that's what I feel like. So
I get that, but I think in a relationship, you want to feel like you could be 100% yourself. You wouldn't want to feel like I need to change myself in order to receive love. I think that would feel, personally, wouldn't feel right for me if I had to change who I was in order to feel that I'm worthy of this person's love. If I have to make myself less than, if I have to dim my light for you to feel enough, I think then we're not a match.
Personally, I wouldn't look at it as a dim my light. Personally, I look at it more as a time reveals all. So let the guy fuck up, and then you're gonna see who's really coming out on top at the end of it. If the woman really is intelligent and she's making it, so let the man.
But a relationship isn't a competition, though.
No, you're right. Yeah, I can see it, but. Because the thing is, I'd say from a financial standpoint, let's say, you can let the guy fuck up, and you'll know who's right in the end. If she's smarter financially, then she'll take over. Eventually, she'll see how fucked up. But then again, I guess you don't really want to just keep letting this guy fuck up everything.
Exactly.
If he's leading the way, he's leading the family, then he's a bit peaked.
Yeah, and plus it'd be quite unattractive, I think, for a woman to constantly be let down by her partner. I think any woman that has any sort of self-respect, I think, would just be like, this is way less than what you deserve. But yeah, that's what I think anyway.
Calm. All right, last thing I'll just say is just what's it called? What's I gonna say? Like, okay, then who do you think deserves most to blame then? Who's supposed to be taking responsibility out of this situation the most?
In terms of pressure?
Yeah, like, do you feel like it should be more women need to women who are, you know, what we're saying, unconventional, because you're saying that the women take on more pressure because of they're unconventionally not pretty. Do you feel like they can make more of an effort investing in other areas other than just their looks? Or do you feel like it's for the men to stop looking at women just solely based off looks, so they don't put this extra pressure on them just based off looks? Or do you feel like, or would you argue that, you know what, you can't blame men because they're naturally just only based off looks wise? Then you should, basically, who do you think deserves more blame?
I wouldn't say one deserves more
or needs
blame,
to take more responsibility.
But I think it's a bit of both. But realistically, I don't think men will take that responsibility and say, I'm going to settle for a woman who I'm not attracted to. Because we see it all the time when men have been married to a woman for years and then they end up cheating with a woman who's 15, 16 years younger, because that's naturally, they want someone who they're still attracted to. So I think women have to be realistic in that sense and say, if I know that this part of me isn't necessarily the best, then let me work on improving it. I'm not promoting surgery, but I'm just saying, if there's things that you can naturally do in order to make yourself not just look better but also feel better, I think confidence is also a big thing. Then I think women should definitely do that.
You know how you said about, men, you've seen it time and time, men are married for a so long period of time and they go and cheat with somebody who's 10, 15 years younger. Do you feel like the men should take responsibility and not be looking outside to cheat? Or do you feel like, naturally he's just more attractive, they're more attractive, more energetic, that's just what he wants, let him do his thing?
I mean, I'm sure there's more than just, of course, she was younger, so I went with her. I'm sure it's also, I think, well, I don't know, I've not been married. What if the man just said simply, she was just younger? I want sex and she was younger and my wife's not giving me. I'm just being honest, yeah. Well, then I think then there's nothing really that woman could do. It's almost like a job. If you can no longer fulfill your job, it's time to move on to a new one. And it sounds harsh, but that's the reality of life.
Okay. What do you think? Then everybody's just got to be moving on once we touch like.
No. It's not that. Oh, I mean, there's some women who are in their 50s and 60s who look incredible. So I think it's also about taking care of yourself. It's like Nicole Murphy looks amazing, and that woman is nearing on 60, and she looks better than some of the girls in their 20s. So I think it's also how you take care of yourself, and it's like I said, knowing what your partner wants and whether you can fulfill that.
What do you think men want?
I don't like to generalize. Because even if I say, "Oh, men,"
what does a baby want?
What does a baby want?
Yeah.
I think they just want to survive. Really, it's just instinct, isn't it?
And what does a dog want?
I have no idea. I've never had a dog.
Oh no, the reason why I'm just saying, I'm trying to like maybe make your answer easier. I don't know what they want like properly easier. I've got an idea in my head, but by saying that, maybe you could give me a better answer. Because in my head, I'm going, this is how I'm looking at it. Baby wants, like you said, survive. They want their mother, they want their milk.
Yeah.
Cool. A dog, he wants food and he wants shelter. Cool, that's it. He just wants food and shelter. You can, yeah, that's it. And then I'm looking, and then and he wants attention as well. Yeah. And then I'm looking, men, just my idea. I could be wrong, probably wrong. I'm thinking they want, from a woman, they want cooperation. They want peace. Especially if it's a guy who's always working, he definitely wants peace, because if he's going out there and it's a stressful world, I think he definitely wants peace. And he wants sex as well. And then from a woman, I'd be like, she wants attention, she wants affection, and she wants what is it else? She wants
taken care of.
Yeah, she wants to be taken care of. She wants provision, and she wants security. Yeah.
Security, 100%.
Yeah, definitely. That's just the way I look. I could be wrong. And the only reason, I could be wrong. But the thing is, I think nowadays, in my opinion, I don't know if you agree. Nowadays, I don't think, because now it's like, okay, security. Nowadays, it's not like as emphasized. You can't see it as much, because security, okay, just call 999. Provision, okay, even if a woman goes to shit, like, especially if you're a woman, I mean, benefits, like, you have a child, you're pretty much good. Blah blah blah. And then, like, as a guy, okay, sex, then they might just, they just date, or they can just casual date, they can be friends with them. But like few hundred years ago, whatnot, if you was a guy, in certain aspects, if you was a guy, you couldn't move up the ranks unless you was married. You just couldn't move up the ranks unless you was married. And then for a woman, it's like there is no such thing as 999. You can't just walk around on your own. So you have that protection. So yeah, that's just what I think. So it's a bit long, man. These days it's a bit long, I think.
Yeah, it is. I agree.
It's a bit long still. It's a bit long. What do you think you're gonna do? But I think I'm gonna go back home still. Just get my shorty from over there. That's right.
I don't know.
Give up. Anyway, now you put, I appreciate the input. I appreciate the input.
No worries.
Nothing else to say. Thank you, anonymous viewer number 1. You're my first anonymous viewer number 1, and there's gonna be many more. If you want to be an anonymous viewer, come and give your input. Thank you.
No worries. Take care.
Right. Bye. So yeah, that's it. We heard what the people wanted to say. We heard the opposing argument. We heard the statement. We heard everything. We heard all the facts and the figures. Formulate your own answer. Comment down below. That's it on this topic. It's time to talk about making this money.